Blake and Ryan here.
Hello. Hey, congratulations on your honor.
I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman. My mom never got justice from her work acquaintance who attempted to take her life when she was the mother of 3 young kids years before I was born.
2 women.
Hollywood has never been kind to women who fight back. And Blake Lively? She's done playing nice. What began as a casting controversy has spiraled into an all-out war involving lawsuits, reputations, and a very uncomfortable silence from Ryan Reynolds. But now, there's a new twist in this scandal, and her name is Gigi Hadid. That's right. The supermodel, the socialite, the queen of effortless cool, Gigi Hadid has been dragged straight into the eye of the storm. And if the rumors are true, her involvement may be the key reason this feud exploded beyond the set and into the public eye. Let's rewind. When Blake Lively signed on to star in It Ends With Us, directed by Justin Baldoni, fans expected cinematic magic. What they got instead was chaos. According to on-set insiders, the tension between Blake and Justin was immediate and electric in the worst way. Blake allegedly felt blindsided by the way Baldoni restructured the script after she signed on. Creative disagreements snowballed into explosive arguments, and before long, Blake had her legal team on standby. But then came Gigi. Gigi Hadid, who's been close friends with Blake for years, reportedly began visiting the set frequently, initially under the guise of supporting Blake. But paparazzi photos from early last year showed Gigi arriving alone, staying hours, and sometimes leaving with Baldoni himself. At first, no one thought much of it. Gigi is, after all, a social butterfly. But then came the rumors, late-night phone calls, cryptic Instagram stories, and a noticeable cooling in her friendship with Blake. The real kicker: Blake allegedly confronted Baldoni after catching wind of private texts between him and Gigi, texts that reportedly suggested more than just friendship. Some sources claim the messages were flirtatious. Others say they were downright inappropriate. Either way, it was the final straw for Blake, who immediately pulled back from the project's promotional cycle. That's when the legal gloves came off. Blake filed a quiet but powerful contractual dispute against the production company, citing creative sabotage, unprofessional conduct, and emotional distress. While the public explanation was framed around script issues, those close to the situation say the real reason was far more personal, and it had everything to do with Baldoni and Gigi's increasingly visible connection. Gigi's camp denies everything, of course. They say she was supporting a friend, and that the rumors are intimacy and fabricated. But here's where things get even darker. Ryan Reynolds knew. Multiple insiders have confirmed that Ryan was informed of the alleged Gigi Baldoni situation early on, and instead of stepping in, he stepped back. No statements, no support, no Instagram posts defending Blake. And while Blake was spiraling through legal meetings and on-set chaos, Ryan was spotted vacationing in Tokyo with mutual friends of Baldoni and Gigi. Coincidence? Or something more calculated? To make matters worse, Ryan and Gigi share a surprisingly deep connection through the fashion world and their inner circle. Gigi has long been close with Taylor Swift, a mutual friend of Blake and Ryan, and even spent time at their family home during past holidays. The betrayal, if true, cuts deep. It's not just about creative control anymore. It's about trust. This bizarre triangle, Blake, Baldoni, and Gigi, has now morphed into a full-scale Hollywood scandal. And the silence from everyone involved is deafening. No denials, no interviews, just carefully curated Instagram photos and vague quotes about personal growth and navigating hard seasons. But Blake, she's done hiding. Recent interviews hint that she's preparing to speak out, either through a carefully crafted op-ed or a tell-all sit-down with a major outlet. Insiders claim she's been offered a massive deal to break her silence, and she just might take it. Why? Because for Blake, this is no longer just about a movie. It's about her marriage, her career, and her right to control her own narrative. And Hugh Jackman, the man who once playfully mocked Ryan on red carpets, is furious. Sources say Hugh confronted Ryan privately, urging him to take a stand for his wife, or at least explain why he hasn't. Their friendship, once inseparable, is now reportedly non-existent. In fact, Jackman recently unfollowed Gigi on Instagram. A petty move or a quiet declaration of sides? Meanwhile, Baldoni is facing growing backlash, not just from fans, but from within the industry. A director once praised for his sensitivity and emotional intelligence is now facing accusations of manipulation, favoritism, and blurred professional boundaries. Gigi may have walked into this mess innocently, but she might not walk out untouched. At the center of it all is a chilling question. Why did Ryan Reynolds go silent? Some say he's preparing for a separation announcement and doesn't want to inflame the press. Others believe he's trying to shield his Marvel image from the messiness. But the more scandalous theory, he's not silent because he's afraid. He's silent because he's guilty of something more than just negligence. So where does this leave Blake? Alone, but not defeated. She's quietly distancing herself from both Hollywood and its social circle, spending more time in upstate New York with her children, and turning down scripts that put her under male directors. Her message is clear: you don't get to mess with me and walk away clean. And Gigi? Her brand has already started to show cracks. Fashion contracts have stalled, and at least one major makeup brand has reportedly paused a campaign after the Blake drama went viral on TikTok. Fans are divided. Some say she's being unfairly dragged into something she didn't start. Others are asking, if you knew your best friend's marriage was in danger, why were you texting her director late at night? This isn't just a scandal anymore. It's a reckoning, and Hollywood is watching closely. The truth is still tangled in silence and NDAs, but the damage is done. Friendships have shattered. Careers have been shaken. And somewhere, behind the curated smiles and designer dresses, one of the biggest betrayals in modern celebrity culture is unfolding. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni was the headline. But Gigi Hadid just became the plot twist no one saw coming. Gigi Hadid has exposed an entirely new level of chaos. What initially started as a professional conflict between Lively and Baldoni over a film adaptation has quickly escalated into a full-blown scandal, with personal betrayals, legal battles, and simmering tensions that no one saw coming. And right at the center of it all, supermodel Gigi Hadid, whose sudden and suspicious involvement with Baldoni has made this feud even messier, more public, and, frankly, more controversial. It all began innocently enough. When Blake Lively joined Justin Baldoni's project It Ends With Us, an adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, the expectations were sky-high. Fans were ready to see Blake portray the complex character of Lily Bloom, a woman torn between love and loss. But what fans didn't expect was that behind the scenes, the tension would reach explosive levels before a single frame was shot. Blake and Baldoni's working relationship quickly soured. While the initial reports claimed that their differences were primarily creative, insiders close to the set revealed much darker tensions. Blake reportedly became frustrated with Baldoni's constant changes to the script, changes she felt betrayed the very essence of the character she'd agreed to play. But the real breaking point came when Blake allegedly discovered that Baldoni was not only manipulating the script, but was also forming a very close, very personal relationship with none other than Gigi Hadid. Gigi, who had long been a close friend of Blake's, was reportedly spending more and more time with Baldoni under the guise of supporting Blake. At first, it was just casual visits to the set. But as time went on, Gigi's presence became more frequent, and her relationship with Baldoni became the subject of whispered rumors. She was spotted leaving the set at odd hours, and paparazzi caught her in close, seemingly intimate exchanges with the director. What was once thought to be an innocent friendship suddenly raised eyebrows, especially after Blake allegedly confronted Baldoni about his growing closeness with Gigi. Sources close to the production claim that the confrontation was heated. Blake reportedly found text messages between Baldoni and Gigi that she believed were flirtatious in nature. The messages, which some say hinted at more than just a professional relationship, were said to have been the final straw for Blake. She pulled out of the project's promotional cycle and took legal action against the production company, citing emotional distress, breach of contract, and allegations of sabotage regarding the film's creative direction. But what truly ignited the firestorm was the fact that Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband, was noticeably silent. Despite being deeply connected to Hollywood and the industry at large, Ryan made no public statements defending his wife or expressing his dissatisfaction with the film's direction. Instead, Ryan was seen in Tokyo with friends who were close to Baldoni and Gigi, attending parties and keeping a low profile while his wife fought an uphill battle against the controversy. Ryan's silence has been the subject of much speculation. Some sources claim that he was in a difficult place, caught between supporting his wife and managing his own career. But others argue that Ryan may have been avoiding conflict, choosing not to escalate the drama by engaging with the media. Still, the most scandalous theory suggests that Ryan may have been more complicit in the mess than anyone realized, perhaps choosing to turn a blind eye to the relationship between Gigi and Baldoni, or Weiss, condoning it. But this is where it gets even more twisted. Gigi, who was supposedly just supporting her friend, didn't exactly act like a loyal friend. According to multiple sources, Gigi's behavior behind the scenes was anything but supportive. She was rumored to have been in communication with Baldoni on multiple occasions, offering him emotional support during the film's turbulent production. And those late-night text messages that were allegedly discovered by Blake? Well, let's just say they painted a very different picture from the one Gigi has been trying to sell to the public. To make matters even worse, Gigi's involvement was more than just a few private messages. According to insiders, she may have played a larger role in the rift between Blake and Baldoni than anyone realized. It wasn't just the movie that was at stake. Gigi's connection with Baldoni, fueled by her constant visits to the set, reportedly caused significant strain in Blake and Gigi's friendship. As Blake began pulling away, Gigi's presence on the set only intensified, and that's when things started to get really messy. The situation escalated to the point where Blake reportedly sought legal advice, not just over the film but over her marriage. Was Ryan's silence an indication of something more significant, a deeper, unspoken rift? Was there more to Gigi's relationship with Baldoni than met the eye? Blake wasn't just confronting a director, she was confronting her own circle of friends, questioning where their loyalties truly lay. And Gigi, well, her reputation has taken a hit. Despite her public denials and claims that she was just a friend to both Blake and Baldoni, the rumors surrounding her involvement haven't disappeared. In fact, some sources have suggested that Gigi may have intentionally kept her relationship with Baldoni under wraps to avoid damaging her carefully crafted public image. But her friends, those close to the situation, claim that Gigi was less than innocent in all of this. Her support for Blake was reportedly nothing more than a cover for her own professional ambitions. Some have even speculated that she saw an opportunity to secure a more prominent position within Hollywood's elite circles by getting closer to Baldoni. What makes the situation even more scandalous is the role of social media. In the age of TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, every rumor, every shift in public opinion gets amplified in real time. And this controversy has been no exception. TikTok, in particular, has exploded with videos, theories, and fan interpretations of what really happened behind closed doors. The public has been quick to pick sides. Some are defending Gigi, claiming that she's been unfairly dragged into a situation she had no control over. But the majority of the narrative points toward one undeniable fact. Gigi, whether intentionally or not, has played a role in one of Hollywood's messiest scandals. Now, what does this all mean for Blake? She's been quiet, but her silence is deafening. Insiders say she's preparing to come forward, possibly in an exclusive interview or a carefully crafted op-ed, where she'll finally speak her truth. Fans are eagerly awaiting her response, but one thing is certain. Blake isn't just fighting for her career, she's fighting for her marriage, her integrity, and her right to reclaim her narrative. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds continues to stay in the background, his social media posts carefully crafted to avoid any mention of the controversy surrounding his wife. The once beloved Hollywood couple, who seemed like the picture-perfect family, now appear distant and fractured. Their followers are left wondering, will they stay together, or is this the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most adored couples? But let's not forget about Justin Baldoni. While the actor-director has remained relatively quiet on the matter, his career is feeling the heat. Once lauded for his sensitivity and emotional depth, Baldoni's reputation has taken a significant hit. He's now being accused not only of unprofessional behavior on set, but of exploiting personal relationships for personal gain. As for Gigi, her future in the industry is now uncertain. The fashion world is watching closely, and her status as a top model may not be as secure as it once was. The truth behind this scandal remains tangled in a web of silence, hidden agendas, and fractured friendships. But one thing is for sure, the fallout from this situation will reverberate through Hollywood for years to come. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni was just the tip of the iceberg. Now, with Gigi Hadid caught in the crossfire, this is a Hollywood war like no other.